So I'm live on YouTube. I hope you can see me. The screen is a bit dark, but you should be able to see me. Now I'm going live on Facebook as well. Perfect. In 2 seconds, I should be live also on Facebook. Yes. And now, last but not least, I'm going on live on Instagram as well. And I'm live on all our social media. This is wonderful. Sorry if I'm slightly delayed, but I was having a wonderful call with lawyers. We are advancing on some legal settings. So really happy to be here. And I'm gonna wait just a few minutes to have more people joining. This is the classic live Q&A that we do it now every week with either me or Colonca and Salvador, the other co-founder of Now. These days have been very intense. We have a lot to share, and I'm extremely proud of the work of our team. So today I'm going to go through our latest campaign, Vaccines Without Borders, explaining a bit what we are doing, what are the latest updates. And then I want to share with you some work that we're going to do in the weeks ahead. Some updates from our community. We have opened other teams. We are now almost at 30 teams in a month. Incredibly proud of this work as well. And maybe we can also then answer some questions about what's going on in the world. For example, today, the new social media Clubhouse was censored by China in another attack on freedom of expression and everything that we hold dear to our heart. So I want to comment on all of this. So welcome everybody to this live Q&A. I will keep it around 30 minutes. Let's do this. So first topic. As you know, if you're following Now closely, in the last exactly 8 days ago, we launched our Vaccines Without Borders campaign. The idea is very simple. The only way out of this pandemic is by vaccination and by ensuring that there is a wide supply of vaccines for everyone on this planet. However, the supply is very constrained. Why? Because huge companies like Pfizer, like AstraZeneca, like Moderna, have licensed their vaccine and they have often no intention to share with other people, which from one side is understandable because obviously money have gone into this effort. On the other side, there are hundreds of thousands of people dying because of the lack of vaccine. And especially in low to middle income countries, vaccine supplies are extremely restricted, and we might have people receiving the first jab only in 2023 or 2024. Now, if you are living in any kind of lockdown or COVID situation, you can understand how heavy is the thinking, the thought of waiting 2 or 3 years to get your vaccination. So we figured that this is not human, this is not right. History will judge us if we don't do anything. So we decided to launch the Vaccines Without Borders campaign with the idea of pushing the biggest manufacturer, starting from Pfizer, that is among the first 3 manufacturers that got a license for the vaccine, and the only one that is still fully opposing any knowledge and IP transfer to other companies. We are targeting them to demand that at least for low to middle income countries, there is an arrangement where Pfizer will help other companies to get up to speed and produce the vaccine, so to save lives. Very simple, human lives over profits, while understanding the profit is needed to create innovation, to create vaccine, and to ensure that this happens quickly and efficiently. But in front of a terrible situation like the one we are facing, we must ensure that actually those suffering receive a vaccine. So while Pfizer can make all profit they intend to do in rich countries and rich markets like North America and Europe, they should be ready to take the extra step and support citizens and companies in countries where this is not possible. And so we are lobbying them very hard. We started an email campaign, which is just the beginning. We're going to have wonderful, but really wonderful actions coming up this month. You obviously are going to be extremely, extremely welcome to participate. We're going to have both social media actions and physical actions wherever possible in front of Pfizer's headquarters and offices. And we are going to push as hard as possible to ensure that by the next World Health Assembly, so the assembly of the World Health Organization that is going to happen at the end of May, I believe in Geneva, probably online, by that time, the situation of vaccine must be better than is today. And as now, we are going to commit all our limited resources and energies to make sure that this happens. And we are really, really surprised by the support of the community. We had so many people participating in the campaign, helping the campaign. Our local teams are starting to get active to support what we are doing. Journalists, newspaper, influencers are soon supporting our effort. Today, a big piece of media is going to go out from a very famous American outlet supporting our work. So we're extremely proud, and we are sure that together we can actually make something to support those in need, because at the end, this is what it's all about, right? It's not about defending corporate interests. It's not about hoping for a world that we never realize, a world where there's the said profit and so on doesn't drive innovation, but it's a world where it's needed, we all do our part to save lives. This is the only thing that we ask. I'm gonna check 1 second some comments that I received already. Vaccines without borders, I completely agree. And I see that Stella has mentioned that there is another organization that is working for a similar goal. It's very good to hear. I mean, there are many alliances working in this sense. We are collaborating with some, and we are always trying to collaborate with as many people as possible. The only thing that we try to make sure is that our requests are not exaggerated. So that's why we started small. We started with a company instead of demanding that all vaccines will be free and accessible, simply because, to be honest, it will not happen. And so it's better sometimes to achieve something than dream too big and let people down. So that's why we are targeting one company. We might expand into a few more companies, but our effort will always be targeted and hopefully very powerful on those few individuals that can make this happen. And for example, the CEO of Pfizer is one of those individuals that in a blink of an eye, obviously it might take a bit longer, but almost in a blink of an eye can save lives. And I do not see any reason why we shouldn't save lives in this situation when we already have suffered so much. I also want to add a small comment that I made already doing another interview on this topic. There is obviously, there are always going to be people saying, I don't understand why Pfizer or similar companies should sacrifice their profits. And my answer is, hello, we are all sacrificing something in this crisis. Everyone that is working for a business that has been closed down, everyone that has seen their financial streams drying up, everyone that see their kids locked up in their house. We are all suffering from this pandemic, and it's not morally right that certain companies profit so much out of it. And yes, if they can do it while saving lives, we're happy. But since lives are not being saved because of those profits, we need to ensure that there is a balance here. So please join us, go on our website, sign the form, and you're going to email straight away the CEO of Pfizer, and hopefully with a waterfall or a huge amount of emails, we can actually change his mind. So please help us. And stay tuned, because as I said, we're going to have very cool actions coming up. And today and tomorrow, some very big media articles join. So these are our work on vaccine. It's just one of the campaigns that we're launching. Of course, as every week since 6 months, also this week we are pushing for freedom. Freedom is one of the centerpieces of our work, one of the pillars of the vision of now. Freedom and democracy is something that nowadays, sadly, cannot be taken for granted. Many countries are experiencing a deterioration of democracy. And there are countries where obviously it's extremely apparent, like Hong Kong, like Venezuela, like Russia, like Belarus. And for these countries, while local citizens are striving for freedom with all their strength, and it's very admirable, and we should all be learning from these activists fighting in some of the riskiest places on this planet, to just say the word freedom. Us living abroad, where we can still have a voice and where we can still contribute, we should be more active. For me, it's a huge shame that Navalny, Joshua Wong, and similar activists are incarcerated, and they are not mobs in the center square of all our cities demanding that our government sanction those responsible for this action. Sanction countries, stop trading with those countries. And that's why 6 months ago we started a huge campaign called the Wave of Freedom, where every week for Fridays for Freedom we protest in tens of cities around the planet. Obviously, because of COVID and the winter in the northern hemisphere, some certain protests had to be shrunk down, like the one here in London, that we now do digitally. So me and a few other activists show up in front of embassies, in front of government building, take out our phones and connect with the other activists all over the planet for a global digital protest to show that people in Hong Kong, people in Russia, people in Belarus, they are not alone. We are all in this together. We won't let them down. And not only is an act of solidarity that I hope all of you can join by following our work, liking our work, and participating in the protest, but also if we succeed, if we raise enough awareness, there is a concrete goal that we can achieve. And this goal is called the creation of a League of Democracy, a coalition of democracies coming together to defend freedom and democracy in this planet, on this planet. And to do so, we are really pushing with a particular aim in mind. There is the G7 meeting this June in the United Kingdom. So the 7 biggest democratic countries or traditional biggest economies, they also democracy, are going to come together in the United Kingdom to discuss various topics. And as an organization, since many months, we are fighting for having in this meeting a motion or a discussion on the creation of a legal democracy, or at least the seed of this legal democracy that has to be inclusive, has to be open to all countries on this planet that are actually democracy to join in and fight together to preserve freedom and democracy on this planet. I'm seeing a lot of comments that I'm going to try to pick up. Sorry, I have so many devices, sometimes I miss them. I'm going down. I see a comment very important on our previous campaign that I was mentioning, the vaccine campaign from Sahid, saying that in Pakistan, vaccines will go first to the military and then to the public. And I think this is incredible. I'm really sorry to hear, Sahid. We are going to fight for this as well. I'm going to ask our communication manager and my co-founder to note this down. And we should definitely communicate a strong message on this topic, because I find it incredible, a shame for Pakistan and for all countries that are not prioritizing health workers and the public during this pandemic. And I must say it's happening in many countries. I read today a news that in France, in Paris, in the American Hospital of Paris, it's one of the wealthiest health institutions in France, board members received a job before health workers. And I couldn't believe my eyes, but this is happening all over the planet. In New York City, a Soul Cycle educator received a job because they had a client-facing role. And this for me is such a joke, and obviously there was a public outcry. But this to say, sadly, we see the seed of greed and simply injustice flourishing everywhere. And when there is a crisis, this is always more apparent. So I'm really sorry about to hear this in Pakistan. And I'm going to make sure that now communicate strongly on this point and we make it part of our agenda. Thank you, Sahid, for telling us this. I'm scrolling down. I see that Stephen still on the vaccine campaign mentioned in Costa Rica had a petition to the WHO about public sharing of knowledge related to the vaccine. Stephen, this is extremely important. Thank you for pointing it out. I think that there is a chance for us here to reach out to Costa Rica official, and trying to see if we can be of help. Obviously, the WHO is also under our radar. We already got, as you remember, support from the Director General for one of our past campaigns on vaccinations. So I think this is something we can definitely work on. And in light of the World Health Assembly, will happen in June and in end of May and June, we might be able to do something as well on this. So thank you, Stephen. We want to check out this Costa Rican petition and do our best. I'm scrolling down. I'm seeing that Stephen is asking if Western Sahara can be covered by the Fridays for Freedom protest. Any struggle for freedom is in our radar. So Western Sahara, I know the situation is very tough in Western Sahara. I know that human rights are often forgotten, if I'm not mistaken, by the Kingdom of Morocco trying to annex fully the country. I'm not an expert on this. My co-founder, Colombe, is way more knowledgeable. But note it down, Stephen. We're going to look into Western Sahara, and hopefully we're going to be able to publish a statement also on this topic. I mean, it's one of the many, sadly, bad situations we have around. But I think that all these issues that we are raising should not be forgotten. And since we have these beautiful, powerful tools called social media and a wonderful person managing all of them in our team, we are going to make sure to try to disseminate a bit of knowledge in our followership about this situation, and hopefully help a bit. Still scrolling, so I catch up with all the comments, so I can go back to my call to action on Fridays for Freedom. The idea here is, of course, many of us have difficulties in protesting all over the planet as of now because of COVID, but you can still do your part. You can go on our website and sign our petition. You can join the volunteer that we have already, the volunteer team that we have created to lobby and push politicians to do more on the topic. We're already working with politicians in Italy, in Germany, in the United Kingdom, hopefully soon in the United States, in Taiwan. So we are expanding the radar of our lobbying efforts. We need help for that. We need help, and all of you following now this broadcast can be of help, can be the person really tilting the tide from negative to positive for the creation of this League of Democracies. So wherever you are from, if you have half an hour to dedicate to the cause of freedom or any other cause that we champion, go on our website, top right corner. If you're from desktop, scroll down. If you're from mobile, join, become a member. We'll contact you. We monitor always new members. And I'm sure that you can play a part. And honestly, to be extremely honest, playing a part in these monumental battles of our times is probably the most rewarding thing one can do, especially in these difficult times where we are all suffering from this situation. So if you can contribute the 1% of a battle and maybe save lives when we talk about Vaccines Without Borders, or preserve freedom when we talk about Fridays for Freedom, or any other topic you feel close to your heart. We're also working on climate and women's rights. Please do so. Don't stay idle. Don't stay in front of your laptop and liking posts on social media. There's much more you can do from the comfort of your sofa, where there are people fighting at the forefront of the struggle. And even if you cannot do that, you can be of help. So please join us. I covered our two main campaigns running so far. So I just want to give a shout. Sorry, drink a bit of water. I just want to give a big shout to our newly formed community teams. Wonderful individuals that from all over the planet are coming together and opening city teams in now 4 continents to advance our vision of a more united, fairer, and freer world in every corner of this planet. We have teams from New York to small cities across the planet, and they're really doing the groundwork. They're preparing the network for when hopefully COVID will be less present in our everyday life, and we'll be able to hit the streets again, organize rallies, organize meetings, and ensure that communities all over the planet are not happy to just be witness of the big crimes of our times, but actually fighting back. And we have opened so far in just 1 month of work 26 teams. Some more in the pipeline, so soon we're going to reach 30 teams across 4 continents. And I'm extremely proud. I met all these teams. We have calls regularly, we have trainings. It's a very fun and engaging process to create these teams. And wherever you're from, I can bet that either there is a team close to you or there is no team. And so you can be the one starting the now community in your village, town, countryside, wherever you are. And not only is cool per se to create a team, but then you can actually start a campaign with our support on an issue that you cared about. And I think this is, for me, a very, very powerful message. You not only have to advocate, but you can do. You can actually try to change things in your neighborhood, in your city, in your region. And for example, I'll give you a concrete example. And I always use this example because I think it's beautiful and powerful. Our first team we created 2 weeks ago in Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA, started already a campaign to ensure that solar panels can be built on top of new buildings all over the state of Oklahoma. Why? Because it would be not only cheaper for people to have energy, but also it would be the right thing to do for the planet. And so we started an online petition. We are building a team. Obviously, it will take a few weeks to get where we want to be, but very soon our team will present in front of the state of Oklahoma, in front of a commission for construction, our proposal. And hopefully, we are going to change a bit the world, starting from Oklahoma. So this is a very concrete example of what you can do if you start your community team, if you start being engaged in this work with us. I see a question from Stella. They might be of interest for everyone. Are there petitions to sign and share in this matter? I will also check out your website. So I'm not sure what is the matter, but if it's freedom, vaccine, or climate, or women's rights, yes, there are ongoing campaigns on our website. You just have to type www.now.world. You're going to see campaigns. You can open the window. You're going to see both our global campaigns and local initiatives. And you can support them all. You can support those ones that you believe more into, you believe more about, and you can also volunteer for those causes. So that if you become a member, we can work with you to advance those causes. So there is a wealth of opportunities out, and they are just there for your grab. I'm checking there are other comments. Vaccines, yeah. So vaccine, you're gonna find it very easy, and Colomb will share it with you as well. So this is all in terms of our campaigns and our communities. I think that this year will be a very interesting year for our movement. We are, after the first year of testing a lot of methodologies to impact change and topics, I feel that more and more we know who we are, we know the direction that we have to take to ultimately achieve our biggest dream, is the one of a more united, open, free, and fair planet, and a planet where all of us, regardless of our differences, cultural background, groups, and so on, can actually work together for a common planet, for a common goal. And it's not a dream, it's happening already. And now we have more than 10,000 people from 120 countries working for the same goals. And we put this together in 1 year in the midst of a pandemic. Think about what we can do in 10 years if we keep on building the foundation of this incredible movement of hope, of positive energy, that can, I believe, really present an answer to the biggest challenges of our times that seems unsurmountable, like climate change, like the erosion of freedom, like inequalities, economic inequality. So I think that this year is going to be a very good year for our organization. We keep on growing, we keep on opening teams. We're having really incredible media coverage and hopefully partnerships and so on. So I hope that if you're following this live, that we do every week, so you probably get to know us better right now, you can join us, because only with the force of the many we can change the planet. And to change the planet, we need all of you, not just some. We don't need some people following this life and forgetting about now. Please get engaged, or send us comments if you believe that we are doing something wrong. We can improve, we can build together, but don't forget about the causes we are championing, because those in pain, those suffering, will not forget about it. They are the one under pressure. They're the one really not seeing a light and not seeing the end of the tunnel. And we are the one able to speak up, able to do our part, that can change their life, that can be the little push they need to win the fights they're fighting. So that's why I'm saying, I really hope you're going to join. This year is really promising. As I said, we're working on an economic campaign to tackle youth poverty and youth economic darkness in the spring. Then we're going to work again on climate in this summer. And then who knows, maybe maybe we're going to go in space policies, or the huge topics that seem sometimes far away, but actually are the ones that are going to define this planet in the next 10, 20, 30 years. So with this wish of having all of you joining us in this majestic and beautiful mission that we have crafted for our organization, I'm gonna say goodbye. I'm gonna say please comment under this post if you have any question or the answer. We're gonna take care of them. And please follow us tomorrow on Instagram. We're gonna have a wonderful live session with the Happy Broadcast. There is a great organization sharing positive news that we really need nowadays. And we're going to talk about vaccines. So if you like the topic, tomorrow, I don't remember the time exactly, but I'm sure my team will share it. I think it's 5 or 6 p.m. London time. We're going to be live on our Instagram channel that is up there in my site. And we're gonna discuss the situation of vaccines all over the planet and what we can do to change it with the founder of the Happy Broadcast. And then next week we're gonna have an event on universal basic income with a great American expert about the situation and the benefits that universal basic income can bring to our society, and also obviously the difficulties, how to finance it and how to make it sustainable. So a very deep conversation next week on Thursday. So we have a few cool events coming our way, and you can all participate and enjoy them with us. So thank you, Stella, for following us. Thank you, everyone else that's followed this live. Have a great night, afternoon, morning, depending where we are. And remember, together, united, we cannot be defeated. That's the most important thing. Together, united, we cannot be defeated. So let's get together and let's change this planet. Have a wonderful day.